Hi, this is Troy Hubble from YourDyslexiaExpert.com. These next few videos that I'm going to make are going to be some quick tips for how you can really help teach your child with dyslexia, your friend with dyslexia, yourself if you have dyslexia, how to read. So the first thing that we're going to work on today is understanding how can we help kids learn their letters as quickly and easily as possible, and how can we help link those letters to the sounds that they make. Wearing my Dungeons and Dragons nerdy shirt today, so I figure we'll talk about this in kind of a deep, nerdy way. So dyslexia strategy number one, trace the letters, but as you trace them, I want you to use whatever handwriting strokes you're practicing. If you don't have any handwriting strokes, I'll recommend some programs to you. Handwriting Without Tears is a great, easy one. And I want you to either say the letter name or the letter sound or both while you do it. And if you're using a program that has keywords, so for example, A, apple, a, you can just say the whole thing, A, apple, a. Here's why. First, handwriting turns out to be really, really, really important. The reason isn't that we need nice handwriting. We don't. Anyone who has seen me write will tell you that my handwriting is way less than perfect. My kids tend to pass my motor skills somewhere around second grade. It's terrible. The point is, we don't need to have beautiful handwriting, but we do need to have efficient handwriting. What does that mean? Well, what it means is if you ever watch a student write who hasn't been taught handwriting, they do all sorts of interesting things. They'll start their letters in different places, even if they're the same letter. They might be different sizes. And what happens is if they don't have a consistent way to make their letters, consistent size, and a consistent set of handwriting strokes, it actually takes a whole bunch more brain power to write each letter. And just that brain power that they're spending trying to figure out how to, just that brain power they're spending trying to figure out how to write each letter is actually taking away from the amount of brain power they have to read and spell words. We have a thing in our brains called working memory. That's how many things our brains can manage at a time. And we want to get as many things off of somebody's plate as possible in terms of working memory when they're reading and writing. Handwriting is something that can take a lot of working memory. Practicing handwriting is something that can reduce the amount of working memory that you need. Now, equally, our brains are kind of amazing in that they always have the capacity to learn and grow. And when we do things together that activate multiple parts of our brain over and over and over again, our brain starts to build connections between those things, and we actually start to learn them faster. The more connections our brain builds, the easier and faster it is to recall that information. So that's where this strategy comes from. It's going to give you a bunch of things all at once. It's going to give you handwriting practice if you do it right. It's going to give you a multi-sensory way, what that means using multiple senses all at the same time to learn your letter names and letter sounds. That's going to make the number of repetitions you have to do to get that down a lot less. And it's going to just connect the feel of the letter, the shape of the letter, the sound of the letter, the name of the letter, and all of those things that we need to be connected in our brain that much more solidly. So this is how this strategy works. Whatever letter, whatever sound you're working on, and I do something similar to this when I introduce a new sound. I'll give that full sound introduction strategy in another video. I have my kids trace and name the letter. So for A, if I were teaching a print A, I would first teach them make a C, go up, go down. I believe that phrasing comes from Handwriting Without Tears. So again, strongly recommend that you check out that program. It's a great program. Once I can see that kids can follow those steps, maybe once or twice, I'll say, okay, now we're going to trace it, and we're going to see our letter name, our keyword, and our sound. So let's pretend that our keyword is apple. Ready? So we would start here. We would go A, apple, A. A, apple, A. A, apple, A. Please forgive my computer screen handwriting. I'm using my mouse and not a stylus for this. That's it. It's really that simple. I have had a number of students, particularly in kindergarten and first grade, whose teachers have sent them to me as a special education teacher or as a reading interventionist and said, this child's just not learning their letters. Something as simple as this, especially if I teach the letters in a particular sequence, like the order of the alphabet, magically makes those connections much, much, much easier for those students, and it gives them a much faster way to learn their letters. Also, again, plug for handwriting. How you make your letters and being able to make them as consistently and easily as possible is really, really, really important. Don't overlook that handwriting skill. Again, the goal is not neat handwriting, it's consistent and efficient handwriting. Stay tuned for more dyslexia tips. You can like and subscribe to the video. If there's any questions that you want me to answer or make a video about, just go ahead and leave those in the comments. And also, again, if you know somebody struggling to read or write who has dyslexia or any other impact to their reading, please check out yourdyslexiaexpert.com. I'm here to help. Thank you very much and have a wonderful rest of your day.